Hey guys, let's see if this starts. I have the circle thing going. Don't know. Am I on? I think so. Let's see. I think this is going. Hey guys, it's me, it's Polly. It's Monday. Monday, yes. Don't know what day it is anymore, but it's Monday, and I've decided to do a half hour Facebook Live video every day this week, Monday to Friday, to kind of like just boost myself up and to maybe entertain some of you guys out there. So yeah, so I have this set up fine. I've tilted this a different way. I normally have the other facing the other way with all of my Weird Al stuff behind me, but I decided to move it this way because I was cleaning up my lounge last night and it's just, but I've been going through a lot and finding finding a lot of things. So I think, yeah, so if you're watching, say hi, and you can comment on the side and then I'll see it on this side. Because when I'm watching a Facebook Live video, the comments are on this side, but then here it's on that side. No, that side. Yes. So anywho, and then I know that I can scroll down and see the latest comment if anybody is watching. So there you go. Oh, hey, Carrie, how are you? Yay, Carrie in California. Yay. I'm going to be drinking coffee as I talk. Because I just kind of got up at 10:30, so it is 12:02 right now. So so here I am, and once again, just no agenda. But I thought I would just get myself going again because it is now. Actually, this is what I started yesterday when I was like tidying up. I'm like finding these things, and there's piles of stuff everywhere, and it's like they're stuff got shoved. This was basically my artist lounge. It was just like a storage space, but like a messy storage space. Like just stuff got piled everywhere on top of things. Hey, Justin. And so it's just, and coffee is good. Oh, it's so good. And I have I know my Tim Hortons mug. I'll have a different mug every day this week. So Tim Hortons today. But yeah, so going through piles, and I had printed um, out like calendar things to because I was going to do this to help figure out what I was going to be doing after I got home from my tour last year. And it was also to put work stuff on, and then just there was a bunch of these that I'd never written on because they got in a pile under things after I got back. So I found them yesterday. Aw, I know, Kurt. I'm drinking coffee for you. And good morning. Well, good 12:04. Oh, I need to wake up. My sleeping pattern's just been all over. So anywho, so I found a bunch of these calendar printouts. And so yesterday I decided to mark down what day it is for me. So my last day of work was Wednesday the 11th. So I know this is kind of, I'll figure out so it's kind of sad. Anyway, so today is Monday the 30th, and it's day 19 for me since I worked. And for some reason, I've now gotten to a point where it's like I just noticed this on Saturday. It's I feel like I'm in a Ken Burns doc now, day 19, and Keith David is going to narrate my story. So there you go. So, but I marked that down, and I'm still stressed about what's going to happen when I'm going to be back at work. But for some reason, my brain has like shifted. I felt better the past few days, like starting to do that, even though it's like today is day 19 at home. It feels it's something's like triggered inside of me in a good way, not in a bad way, but it's just like, oh, I'm like the countdown is on because I always do a countdown towards a specific day, like when a day is coming, especially for like, I'm going on the roads to perform, and I'm like, oh my God, I've got these deadlines. I've got this many days left until here. So I try to plan out what I'm doing up until then, and I haven't had anything to count down towards lately because there was nothing coming up. Um, Keith David, it's Keith David, isn't it? Not David Keith, Justin. Although David Keith would be funny too. But yeah, so for some reason my brain is just like, oh, so we have to get in gear. We've got to like get ready for our performance. And I've been feeling a lot better, like especially since last Sunday when I performed online. That was really good. And now I've had some ideas for like two storytelling pieces, and I was kind of thinking of them. And then yesterday I had a thought for like, there's a third one that's come into my head. So now I have three short storytelling pieces that I'm working on, which is really good. And it's actually making me feel um, great. So I thought, okay, maybe if I like doing the videos really helps because I'm like talking to people because, like I'm not out in the world talking to people unless I'm doing my once a week grocery shopping, which is hazmat suit and everything. So, anywho, I did a video on Friday, and I kind of went back to what I felt really tired, and I watched a little bit of it, and my eyelids, I like. You guys probably don't know this, but like me being my own, we're our own worst critics. So me watching it, I was like, I could only watch like 5 minutes because um I was like, oh my God, I have no energy. I look like I'm about to fall asleep. I'm not bitching about things, but I'm like talking about things that were like kind of serious, but like informative. And it was just like, and I was like, that's why I thought, oh, what if I do these short videos every day this week and I'll keep it perky and all that stuff. And I mean, we're all stressed and we don't know when stuff is going to go back to normal, but at the same time I want to try to keep positive. So if I'm focusing on just still doing things and working on pieces and then keeping myself creative, then that would be a good thing. And so that's what I'm going to do. So this week I'm going to boost myself up because it's day 19, and what else am I going to do? Yeah, so I hope you guys are doing okay. If anybody wants to say hello or ask a question or something, I don't know, or I don't know, put a coffee mug up there, go ahead. Yeah, and I said when I was doing the video on Friday, I can't tell how many people are watching because it used to be up in this corner here. You could see how many people were watching, and then so I don't know. But anywho, I see afterwards, which is very nice. Yeah. So doing all of these, like cleaning with the piles and everything, it's the right there. Um, those are these are dinosaur slippers, and the battery's dead. The right one. I used to wear these all the time. I would wear them at TIFF a lot for the Midnight Madness screenings, Toronto International Film Festival. And yeah, I wore a silver suit sometimes, and I wore these dinosaur slippers. This was the 90s. So and then one of them, when you walked, it goes and then if you slammed your foot down, it actually made like so once I get out of quarantine, I'll find a battery so that you guys can hear. You guys should definitely hear the sound that it makes. But they've been up there overseeing things, and actually over there is my Gamera bank. Not Godzilla, but Gamera. I'll pull him down another day. Yes. So, yeah, so I'm going through all these piles, and I found like I'm feeling like I write notes on, pieces of paper, like index cards or whatever. And then I found like I'm finding pieces of paper, and I'm like, hey, Debbie, mwah. I'm finding pieces of paper, and then I'm reading it, and I'm like, I'm trying to figure out like the cryptic stuff. And I'm like, what was this for? What was this? Was I writing down a line that I heard in a show? Was this like at work? Somebody said something. And so um, I found this, which was really funny. And then I was like, what? I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I'm like, this was obviously, hi, Molly. Mwah. This was obviously something to do with Weird Al. And I was like, oh my God, this was a list of stuff that I wanted to make sure I had ready and prepped when I was going to see Weird Al the first time that I met him in March. Oh my God, 2 years ago. 2 years ago this month. So yeah, so I so my friend Jason was supposed to come with me the first time, and then he couldn't because the family was going overseas on a vacation, and so it just happened to be like they decided that week, and so it was like, oh. So my friend Suzanne came with me, and this is the thing I talk about in Hollywood. So when I met him, and but I had to pick up a shirt for Jason, and then Roxanne had originally wanted me to buy something for her, and then she changed her mind, and then I wanted to make sure that I had money on me to buy socks, and I didn't need to because I bought the squeeze box, and then socks came with that. So, so I got that, but I had for the autograph thing. So I took the Mad magazine as a backup, the one that Weird Al helped edit. And so, yes, but I didn't need that. But then I got him to sign my poster. And then the other thing I got, actually, is it here? Hold on 1 second. Yeah, the other, and she goes at range. So it's a bit dusty. But anywho, so the other thing that I got changed, if you guys were lucky enough to see Pollywood in Orlando, I talked about meeting him the first time, and getting stuff autographed and my poster, and it was really amazing, and he was lovely. And so my friend Suzanne came with me, and she said she was not going to bring anything for her to get signed because it was one item per person, and she said bring something else of yours to get signed, and I'll have that so that you can get two things autographed, which was like just so nice. She's so sweet. I love you, Suzanne. Mwah. So anywho, so when I was younger, I had a Mad magazine card game, and it's so I still have it because it's awesome. And so I brought the box. I left the game. This is this. It's just like two things where you do the cards. That's how some of the cards look. There's red, yellow, green, and blue are the colors. And so I brought just the box, and he was like pretty excited to see. He was like, "Oh my God, this is like so cool." And then she's like, "Oh yeah, it's not mine, it's Polly's." And if you've seen the show, it's a moment where I'm like, I freak out. So it's a moment I really love doing in the show. So anywho, um, so that's sitting over there, and so it was really neat to see this list. and then I'm like, oh, I don't need this, but I'm like, because I'm trying to recycle things and like get get rid of things. I had a whole bunch of stuff, like a pile of magazines and that for vision board workshops, because I've had them here before, and I thought I'm not going to be doing any vision board workshops for a long time, so I recycled like a huge stack of things. So it's really good, and I've got this whole space now on my bench, which has now been occupied with other things that I'm moving over. So I'm trying to be really good about getting rid of stuff, but I think it's going to have to be in stages. I think there's going to be one first, and then seriously going through stuff. It's like, okay, so I got rid of that. Now what do I really, really need? But it's like stuff like this. I don't need this, but this is really cool. And of course, I'm, it's the theater person. It's like, oh, like I should keep this to use in a show sometime. It's like, like my, you guys out there who have like costume pieces, it's just like, I don't need, maybe one day I will need this crown, or I will need this. We always need a crown, but it's like, maybe one day I will need this like giant lizard costume that takes up half your wardrobe, right? Because you don't want to let go of it. So I'm going to keep this, but then it's like, where do I keep this? So I have these, I got a whole bunch of containers at Dollarama, just like that. And I have a whole bunch that I got last year so that I could have one of those for all of my, like this whole one is for Orlando, because this is everything that happened for that Fringe Festival. This one was for Ottawa. This one is for I've got one for San Francisco and LA for the shows that I did. So I wanted to keep everything separate, just like throwing it in there and then getting back to it at some point to sort through it and like figure out receipts and whatnot. So stuff has been kind of organized for a bunch of things, but I haven't gone through them yet. So I have like a lot of those. And so it's going through that. And then I have, that's Space Barbie there from the 50s. And then I've got like, there's another two Rubbermaids under that green one. Yeah, so these are other things that I'm going to eventually go through. Yeah, you can kind of see. There's chips. So I moved the map that I used in Pollywood. I moved from the living room. What feels like we're on a ship. So I moved that into this room, and that's on the thing. And then above it is one of the posters for Weird Al Saved My Life. And when I did a double bill with my friend Robin, when she did Borderline Me, and that was awesome. That was at the Red Sandcastle Theater. So that's Hey to Rosemary. And I thought, because that was originally up there with other things, I took some things down to get room for the map. And that was still up there. And I was like, oh, so I think I have to clear a space in front of here. I'm not going to show you that mess on the floor. You're never going to see anything on the floor, but there is actually space on the floor now. So very excited. There is a walkway. Well, there was a walkway behind there. But then I moved to this side of the table last night and tackled like boxes and stuff over here. So it's a lot less stuff here right now. But I moved things and then I shoved my bistro table this way a bit. So now you can't really, I can get to the coffee maker because that's essential. But now you can't really walk there now, but I want to, once that is clear, because I actually it's kind of an L. So I did cleared space and a little bit so that I could like tape the map up. But I've got my other posters, and where are they? There's some, I showed this on Sunday quickly when I was testing. So I've got like, that's from Ottawa. So that was the last big time that I did Damn It Jim out of town. And then of course Hollywood. So I've got Hollywood laminated and not laminated, and the same with the Ottawa one, because of course I came back with extras. Just a few. There's more postcards, but not as many posters. So I think I'm gonna like put them above the map and just like kind of like see the progression, because the I don't have it yet. The Damn It Jim poster has actually, how it's changed since I didn't do a poster when it debuted at SoloCon in 2015, because it was just like, for SoloCon you only do the performance once, and so there's no really need for posters. So there was no poster for when I did it in 2015 and 2016. I did do a poster for when I did it in Toronto in February of 2016. I might have that somewhere, but then I didn't do anything for a year and a half until Orlando. And so it's interesting to see. I found out a little while ago. It's somewhere. But it's how like that was really like the second design, because it was the first design for the Toronto show in February 16, and then what I did for Orlando in 2018, which was really neat. So it was like, now there's like this cool background, and Chris is the guy who makes all of this. My friend Adam is the one who did this lovely version of me based on a photograph from the Star Trek Las Vegas convention in 2015. But Chris is the one who actually designs the poster itself, and he's really amazing at it. So he does Damn It Jim and Hollywood. Yeah, so the background has gotten really neat. But for Orlando, that first time, it was actually this image, and then on the side it was 3 pictures from my first show of it, Solocom, in 2015. So it was like this, and then showing like me in, it was like kind of like it was a Voyager uniform, but I gained weight after that. I can't fit in. I'm more bulky, and I got, bigger boobs, a lot bigger boobs. And so I don't fit into the top anymore. I still have it, but I don't fit into it anymore. So but that's what I wore the first time I did Damn It Jim. And then the second time I did it in New York, I wore my blue science cosplay outfit. And I still fit into that. I wore that for the teaser show in Fresno last year. But the show has changed so much that I do I change t-shirts in the show, if you've seen it, and that's how each new chapter of the show begins. It's like the changing of the t-shirt, and then here's the next like chapter of the show. So it's really neat. And so, but finding the posters, not like they were really buried. I mean, I had all the posters kind of together. Well, they're together here, together there, but they're like flat, so they're not they're not damaged, which is good. But it's neat to see that, and I thought it'd be neat to like put them all. So once I do that, I'll show you guys, because it's really cool. And then just seeing how the posters have developed in over really 3.5 years, 4 years. Yes, 3.5 years. That's it. Yeah. So yeah, so there's that. And I've been thinking, because I have Dropbox, and like I've got my own Dropbox, not page, but my own thing of it. And I have a version of a link to Damn It Jim on that I have sent to some people to see if they're interested in like booking my show. And I have a version of Pollywood as well. The camera is like on the side, but like you can still see the show. It's like, yeah, it was kind of just in front of the tech booth. So it's on the side, but you can still hear it really well. And so I have these links on Dropbox, and I've been thinking about um, uh, like not posting it, but like putting up a thing, because I'm seeing so many people doing showing links to their pages or their shows, or like, because for my show, I can't really do a live stream of it, because I need a couple of music cues, and because I would do it on my laptop, I'm not sure how I would do that. And then it's kind of too crazy to do it here, and I also don't have a mic and a mic stand, and I need those as props for a part in 2 parts in the show. And I just feel that at the moment I can't really do. Maybe I'll do a different version. I'm not sure, but at the moment I can't really do a live stream version of that. But I was thinking, because some people are, putting links to their shows up and getting a donation for that. So I'm thinking about doing that. So maybe I would send the link to people and then ask for a donation, like $5 or something, to send to my PayPal account, because with the not working, because being day 19 and all, it's like trying to think of ways to generate some income. I mean, I didn't have any shows coming up, so I haven't lost a whole bunch of gigs, which is the only good thing. But at the same time, it's like I'm needing money. So it's something that I've been thinking about. I've also been thinking about doing a Patreon page, so you can subscribe like a monthly amount, and then I generate content for you. And so that's something that I've been thinking about a lot the past week, because that would be really good, also for a little bit of income. Oh wait, there's comments. I keep having to yeah, Gamera. Creativity is key. Danforth Music Hall, that's right. Justin was there as well for the Weird Al. Aw. Yes, Debbie, I gave Debbie 2 of my No, I've got copies somewhere. Oh, Molly, I love you. I will come to Portland for sure one day. So Debbie is one of my wonderful friends that I met at Star Trek Las Vegas, and she and her husband Rich actually flew from California to Orlando to watch the show when I did the when I did it at the Orlando Fringe. She's a very dear, you're an amazing friend, and I love her so much. And then, so she flew all the way. They just came for Orlando to see my show, and it just so happens to be MegaCon, the huge expo at the same weekend. And I had the Friday off. I didn't have a show, so we went to MegaCon on the Friday, and then she saw my show. They saw my show on Saturday, and then flew back on Sunday. So it was like this like whirlwind trip, and it was like really lovely. And then when I performed in California last year, I performed in Fresno, and Debbie and Rich came to see my show in Fresno again because they don't live too far. And so they came to my Saturday show, and then I was on the Fringe Factor game show that night as well. So they got to see me perform twice. And then Sunday, I went with them, and they drove me home to their place. I stayed with them for the night. And then the next day, Debbie drove me to San Francisco, where I was performing that night. So I got literally like maybe 3 hours rest before I had to like, kind of get my stuff at my friend Julie's place and then head to the venue to do my tech and all that stuff. It was just crazy. But then Debbie came and saw that show as well. So Debbie's seen the show more than anybody. She's seen it a lot. Yeah, people have seen it a lot, but Debbie's my biggest fan, which is really lovely. Oh, okay. Nope, that's right. So anywho, so I'm really wanting to keep this at just half an hour so that I keep my energy up. And it's at 27 minutes right now, according to the clock. So I gave Debbie like two of my posters for her to have and like autograph them, and she has them up in her sewing room because she makes the cosplay outfits for her and her husband Rich for the conventions. She's amazing. So anywho, she has those up, but I have copies here, Debbie. I'll let you know if I can't find those originals. Hey Peter, hey. And so yes, and so I went on a tangent. So anywho, yes, posters up. Patreon page I'm thinking of because then it's keeping me going, and the fact that I've like got these 3 storytelling ideas is like really cool. So I want to keep that up. I don't want to overwhelm myself. So I'm thinking, I might post and see if people are interested in the in seeing my show for a donation, and then I would send the link. I might post that today and test out people's feelings, and then the that's okay. And then whatchamacallit, and then the Patreon page. So it's not getting overwhelmed with too much stuff, which is the key. So I want to kind of really think about what I would offer in the different levels of Patreon, because you're like, oh, you can pay $3 a month for this, and this is what you will get. And then the next level up is like like a lot of people do $3, $5, $10, $20. Like most people kind of do those. And then this is what you get for this amount, and this is what you get for this amount. And then some people are really bold, and they're like, then there's like the $50 and the $100 one, but those are like the extreme. And I'm like, do I feel like being like, am I worth $100 a month? And then what would I give? So that's a big thing. So this is what I'm thinking of right now. Yeah. So that's where my mind is. And it's really good that I'm feeling all of this creativity coming back, because it was just a lot of sadness and stress at the start of this. But like I said, today's day 19 here at home for me, and my brain has kicked into, yep, we gotta perform, we gotta do things. And so that's the only good thing about being at home all of this time now. It's like my artistic side is like now kicking into gear, and I want to hold on to it and keep it going. So this is definitely an upswing for me. So keeping this at just half hour, I've got like 12 seconds left to go. So thank you guys for watching. I will be back here again tomorrow at the same time, which is noon Toronto time, and that would be 9 a.m. in California and the West Coast, and then between that in the middle of the States. So I hope you guys have a really good day. I hope you have a great Monday. Remember, it's Monday. Have a shower. I'm trying to remember to do that. And have an amazing day. And I will see you tomorrow again here, if you'd like to join me again, at noon for another half hour Poly Fun Fest. So if you'd like me to talk about something in particular, comment here or send me a message or post on my wall, and then I'll come up with a whole bunch of new stuff to ramble about tomorrow. Okay, I'll see you guys later. Love you guys. Thanks for coming here. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Bye. And live video, and live video, and live video.